Hey, San Diego, it's Dr. Shumard here with Integrative Wellness Center. I wanted to tell you a quick little story before I got into my topic today. So as people are coming on, I'm gonna just jump into this story here. And it's a story about a type 2 diabetic that we've been working with in our office for the last couple of months. When he came to originally see our office, he was very skeptical. Didn't really know what was going on. He had been working in the traditional methods and not really getting the results that he was expecting. When he came in, he originally told me about how he's tried multiple things, multiple diets, weight loss. He's been taking his medication religiously. And recently, he had been told by his doctor that he was gonna have to increase his medication. Now, this was very frustrating for him because he'd been doing everything that he's supposed to be doing. So he was looking for other options. And so when he came to our office, we took him through our process that we have in our office. And eventually we took him on as a patient and we're able to start working with him and the different protocols that we do. And within about a month, his blood sugars, which were ranging around 140 to 150 regularly every single day, they were now in the mid to high 80s. So a dramatic change in his blood sugars very rapidly within the first month. He was so ecstatic about the whole thing, and next thing you know, within the next month after that, he was off 2 of his blood sugar medications, completely off, and his third one, he had reduced it by half, and he was already off of his cholesterol medication. So he's now 2 months into the program, and he's only on a half of his one of his medications for his blood sugar. And within the next month, my guess is he'll be probably off the third one as well. So, which brings me to my topic today, because the topic today that I want to discuss is the top 3 things that a diabetic should be doing right now if they want to get to the point where they can, with the same transition as this patient I just referred to, meaning are they looking to get off their medications? Are they looking to have normal blood sugars again? Are they looking to reduce the risks of future complications that diabetes can basically ravage someone's body, right? Increase the risk of cardiovascular disease, increase the risk of kidney problems, neuropathies that can lead to amputations, even the risk of cancer. So if you're looking for a scenario like that, then this topic is going to be very important for you today. There's 3 topics that I want to discuss. The first topic that we have to discuss right off the bat, it's the first thing that has to happen before anything else is going to happen, is you have to commit. You have to commit to your life. You have to commit to your health. You have to commit to yourself that now is the time to change. Right? Whatever that's going to take, if it's going to be because you had a life-threatening scenario and enough is enough, or you're just super frustrated, or you just were recently diagnosed and you don't want to go down this path because you've seen your mom or your dad, your aunts or uncle, spouse, some colleague, you've seen where they're going with this disease and you don't want to go down that path, you have to commit. And what does commitment mean? Commitment is not your New Year's resolution that you're going to break within the first 2 weeks of January. Commitment means I'm making a commitment to myself, I'm making a commitment to my family, I'm making a commitment to my life, because I know the only way that I'm going to be able to help take care of this is to do this myself. I have got to do this myself and not rely on someone else, not rely on my primary care physician, not rely on my spouse, not rely on my kids, because many people obviously don't want to be a burden to our family, and we know with diabetes that's a huge risk that's going to happen down the road. So number 1, you have to commit. And what does that mean? That means committing for life. You have to commit for the rest of your life. You have to commit to a new lifestyle, a new way of living. Whatever you were doing before has now gotten you to where you are now. That has to change immediately. So unless you are willing to commit to make the changes to whatever that might be, if it's dietary changes, if you have to start taking some supplementation, some herbs, if you have to start exercising regularly, whatever that commitment is, you have to make that commitment to yourself and you don't break it. Because I have seen patients in my office where we've gotten them to a point like the patient I told you at the beginning of the story, where he was off his medications, where they were showing normal blood sugars, basically showing a non-diabetic. right? Which we see many of our patients get to. We see many of our patients go through the same protocols. We rarely see a diabetic fail in our office. But anyhow, so what happens is these patients have made commitments, and then they got to a point where they're doing great, they're feeling good, they're off their medications, their blood sugars are normal, and then they start to go back to their normal lifestyle again. Now, just like, you know, other diseases like cancer or cardiovascular problems, you know, if a person makes the changes and they go back to their old habits, that was putting them in that position in the first place, what do you think is going to happen? Probably going to come back again, right? And which it has for some patients, and they come back, they need our help again, and they have to recommit again. So what I'm getting at here is that if this condition is not serious enough for you, if diabetes is not serious enough for you to make a change, to commit to your life, to commit to yourself, to your family, to your children, to your grandchildren, and to the quality of the rest of your life, then you should not listen to another word I'm about to say. Because the commitment needs to happen first. I do not accept any patients into my office until I know for sure they are committed. Not to me, not to my program, not to what we do to help them, committed to themselves. They are committed to make a difference in their life, to get a better quality of life for the rest of their life. If you're not ready to make that commitment, just turn the video off right now. There's no reason for you to keep watching this any longer. Now, if you are ready to make that commitment and you've decided for yourself and you've written it down, you've told people, because goals don't mean anything unless you tell somebody, unless you have someone who's going to keep you accountable for that goal as well, which is why we have coaching as well as treatment protocols in our office to help patients to get them to the point where they want to be and what their goals are. Either that being getting off medications, either that being becoming a non-diabetic, whatever that goal is for them, we want to help them and we want to coach them through the process. So we have to make a commitment and then tell somebody what that commitment is or that goal, so then we can help you achieve that. Now, if you've made that commitment and you are committed finally saying, I'm going to do this, here's a line in the sand, I'm going to be on this side, I'm not going back, I am moving forward, full steam ahead like that rhinoceros, nothing's going to get in my way, I am on this. Well, that is the first step. Number two, the second step you need to do is you have to understand what is going on. Now, what does that mean, Dr. Shumard? I'm already a diabetic. I know what's going on. It's because I'm eating unhealthy and I'm eating too much sugar and things like that. Now, that very well may be the case. Your diet absolutely is going to play a role in your diabetic condition. But the reality is, what I mean by what is going on is, what I mean is what is causing your diabetic condition. And I don't mean it's just your diet. Because if you already have a fire, a campfire, and someone throws gasoline on the campfire, did the gasoline cause the fire? Of course it didn't. The fire was already there. The gasoline made the fire worse. Diabetes is no different. So if you have an underlying problem that's causing your diabetic condition, which is what's happening for most individuals, they have an underlying problem that's causing their diabetic condition, and then you pour in poor quality food, fast food, sugar, refined sugars, you know, cookies, cakes, cookies, sodas, brownies, whatever you want to call it, ice cream, those things are only going to make the condition worse. It's not going to cause it. So what do I mean by this? What I mean is that if you're still in the mindset that you're thinking that your high blood sugars, your elevated blood sugars is the cause of your diabetes, you have been told misinformation. The elevated blood sugars is only a symptom, a byproduct. So I often hear patients come in and saying, I'm good, my blood sugars are normal because I changed my diet. Well, that very well may be the case. Your blood sugars may be better, but are you still on medication? Are you still at the mercy of the medical system? Are you still having contraindications or not, contributing factors, problems with your diabetes? Are you still having neuropathy? Do you still have elevated cholesterol? Do you still have a high blood pressure? So even though you may be having regular managed blood sugars, why are you still experiencing all these other symptoms? If your blood sugar was truly the cause, if your elevated blood sugar was truly the underlying reason of why you had diabetes, then why aren't the other problems associated with diabetes, your high blood pressure, your high cholesterol, your neuropathies, those sort of things that are going on, why aren't they going away? The reason why they're not going away is because these underlying problems, these underlying mechanisms, what I refer to them as the cause, is still there.